Now that we've made our bolt that we're going to use as a collectible that we'll have around our environment, what we need to do now is figure out a way to store and collect how many we've actually collected of this. So we're going to open up our content drawer. So you can do Control Space to open it, or you could just click on the content drawer down the bottom left. And what we need to do is we need to go into the blueprint for the third person. So this is a case where if you decided you wanted to do first person, you're not going to have this folder, but we're going to go to third person, blueprints, and that's where we're going to find our character blueprint class. Again, if you did first person, you're probably going to go find it in a first person folder, but I did it in third person. So I'm going to double click on that, and you're going to open it up, and it should open up to, it might open up to this, it might open up to, we could go to the viewport and see Manny. That's the mannequin that we have here. And basically, this is the guy that we're going to be able to store information on him, and he'll be able to collect things of that. And so what you're going to do is on the right hand side under the My Blueprints, you're going to see that there's a variety of little topics over here, right? So graphs, functions, interfaces, macros, variables, and the camera and event dispatchers. So all these different things are different things that you can do with your actor or your character. And what we want to do is we want to create a variable. Now a variable, you're going to just come over here to our variable, and there should be a little plus. We're going to click the little plus sign, and it'll let us name our variable. You want to name it something that makes sense. So I'm going to just put collected. So for how many I've collected. And then on the right hand side, it tells you the type and the data type of this. And so if you click on it, you'll get different options. And there's some, and you might not know what a data type is, but a data type is basically, we're saying we're going to need this section of memory where we want to store a value in it, and we want to store it of this data type, and we tell it the data type so that it knows how big of a space it needs for it, because like an integer is going to be a much smaller space than necessarily than like a string of characters, right? You don't need as big of a space for an integer. A Boolean, right? That's just on or off, so that's just it only needs 2 bits, right? It needs to know if it's on or if it's off. That's it. So that'd be very much different than like transform, which is like the position that an item is in the 3D space. So each one of these has different reasons you would use them. What we want to do is we're just going to count how many collectibles we've gotten, how many of the bolts we found. And so we just want an integer, a plain integer. Integer is a whole number, like 1, 2, 3. So we'll do that and compile. What you might want to do is come over here. So you hit compile so that you get the default value, and we want a default value over here of 0. It's always a good idea to initialize variables when you're doing this, just to make sure. What that means is anytime you create a section of memory and you're going to store data in it, you want to know what that initial amount of data is if you're going to do anything with it. So we just want to store it at 0, and there you go. So now we have our variable that we could use to collect and have information about how many items we've collected.